Live streaming is on.
You know, there's only certain things you can do on chain. So it's like, yeah, it's not a lot to understand of like what you're trying to do as far as like transactions and things. So I think mostly it's correct. But I think a lot of the errors I was going into is maybe the datum structure. So I would like to try to maybe readdress, and it doesn't have to be on this stream or anything, but I did provide the contract to Adriano and then a example datum. We could even do one that's a little less complex and just do a single shareholder, single asset. But knowing what I know now, I just really need to verify that the contract worked. And then I think the errors that I was running into was how I was structuring the data that I was passing to it. But what clues might there be when GC presents a message that is empty or null? Just that there's an error message that doesn't have an ID that was captured, right, or something, or what? Is there a clue that I can use to maybe help troubleshoot that deeper when the console doesn't present anything?
What kind of error you mentioned? Like what type?
So when I try to deposit into this contract that I created, I can get everywhere to the key derivation for the transaction building. And then the second I get past there, it'll be like one of these modal message windows, but it's like a go back message, but it's just empty.
Okay, the first thing to do is go to cursor to the advanced. Always stop there. I mean, don't touch anything. Just don't close that modal. Just go to advanced. And there on advanced, try to spot where the execution stopped, right? I don't know what's going on there, but Martin, maybe you can do it right there without knowing anything about what you're doing. You can go to advanced. And there the first thing that will pops up is the console. There you can check what's going on. If you don't have enough clues there, you can also go to, you have several options, but one thing is to spot where you are at. So
I know this works perfectly because the validation returned false because I set it to debug mode. Because you can only debug if your, and that's a great tip, if your validator returns true, you cannot debug it. If it returns false, so you just put at the end false, return false or something, then you can debug it. It will show you information. I think it has something to do with there's something to do with the determinism of Cardano, that if you would have real transactions which produce different debugging results, it could have an influence on how your transaction runs.
Exactly. I mean, Gabe, this is super convenient. Like, check the traces list. Those are the traces I mentioned. This is coming directly from the node.
You need this so much.
Yes, with this you are able to start debugging your contract in action on chain, right? So those are the traces. Those are like if I can say, like console logs that you can throw, or exceptions actually you can throw from the code. Yeah,
look at this. This is what it's doing. It's printing hello world, and it's printing the serialized datum. And it's also, because I never trust nobody, you know, I want to know exactly how it works. You could make an error, and your datum could be something you think is right, and it could match your redeemer, but it needs to be this number, but it could be blah 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 and work sometimes. You still need to check your datums and redeemers So you will also always need to do this, and you will always need to know if this 182A is exactly this. So you would need to put this value inside a function where you can check, yes, it should be 128 to 28A. Because, yeah, then you know for sure that your contract is working. Otherwise, yeah, you're just guessing. And yeah, I'm returning false here because otherwise I won't receive this information. So if I put this to true, like I would have a validator would always say it's true. Um, yeah, it will always unlock any contract.
One thing is that, guys, always remember that it's good to have testing on these validators, and each DSL handles testing in its own way. I think Helios should have a testing suite or testing tooling or functions for testing. I know Aiken has, Bluetooth has. So just keep that in mind, because this, of course, helps. But one of the suggested ways, of course, will be to create just testing during the development phase, and just ensure that, like, trying different input values for the validator will work as expected. But Martin, can you please keep showing the other tabs of that advanced debugging window? Exactly. So on status, you will have a snapshot of the context of the scripting being executed, where it stopped, right? That can help. But other thing to check also is the cursor tab, which is very simple, but shows you exactly where you leave, where the execution stopped. It shows you a bit upper, maybe. Martin, can you go a bit up? There. It shows you. Oh, sorry,
Build
no.
a transaction.
Yeah, it shows you exactly the function that you were running, and on the code section, the exact piece of code that was being executed. If in this case is the build transaction. So in this case for Martin, the build transaction function failed. Why it failed technically exactly in this case? Because on GCScript, when you build a transaction, GCScript deals for you, solves for you the calculation of the execution budget of the contract of the validator. You need to calculate the exact amount of memory that will be consumed and CPU cycles and or steps. And this calculation on GCScript is delegated to Ogmios, to the node, let's say. The node or this Ogmios API calculates this for you. There is when GC early detects that a validator will fail on a transaction, because GC builds transactions for you. So we can prevent chaos to happen right in time. We can stop the execution and say, okay, here, this transaction with this validator won't work. This is how we capture these error messages from the node if you're not exactly submitting the transaction. I'm just explaining things that when you start dealing with those, you will be asking these questions like, how GC knows that this is going to fail before time? Well, this is the way we know.
For
And this
me,
is not submission. This is evaluation, something different. So no panic. There is no. Yeah, Martin.
for me, this was like the false, that you have to put false there. There was like an eye-opening message where it's like, now I've got my eyes. I can see. I'm not blinded. I can see what's happening. Otherwise, it's like so annoying. I always know when I'm going in the wrong direction programming, when I'm start guessing stuff. It's like, no, don't do that. Take a step back, see what's going on, and then progress. It sometimes takes longer and you'll be more patient, but yeah, it will make you way more productive.
So great. I mean, and Gabe, this is, you asked me how can I know if there is a weird error and I'm not understanding where is it coming from. Okay, with the cursor, for example, you know where the error was triggered, right? And you can start
Yeah.
saying, okay, it
Go
happens.
figure.
For example.
It's exactly what I said. It's in the datum. So it's how my front end is building the datum, I'm sure. So
Okay.
what I'm going to do is just actually try to plug in these values directly.
Yeah, just put false in your contract and then run it, and then you can straight off see what is happening.
I mean, Gabe have shared me the testing and datum. May I show this on the stream or not? Your choice.
Yeah, for
no
sure.
Pressure.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I mean, if it's wrong, it's wrong. I would much rather know. I don't care about the public shaming. Everyone gets to learn from it.
Okay. Okay, maybe I can try to let's try to run this, or to at least generate the proper datum in the format it should be. Let me share screen window. No, sorry, that was not. Okay, so let's go with a new one. Let's paste Gabe's validator. So this is the validator, right? At least the structure. Wait, no.
That's just the shareholder, so there should be.
Sure. I copied. I my mistake. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I did not collapse. Sorry, expanded the thing. My mistake.
And it's also Discord. How? Yeah, it was.
No,
I
but
had to share it.
was B. Sorry. Just okay. Oh, and keep doing silly stuff. Come on, this should work. I think. Oh. Okay. So, what can we do? Do you want to in your let make me clarify this for me? Like,
I did share an example datum too.
yes, you did.
So that should be what we need to provide it.
Yeah. Do you want me to simplify this code just to export this thing?
However you need to do it, my buddy. Like I said, assume it is all trash.
No, never. I can just. I hope this works out. I'm not an expert here. So what I want to do is just to make this keyboard is killing me. Okay. What's wrong? syntax. Well, I think I'm going to use the full file. I was trying to simplify the code to minimize, any errors we can have. But that's it. I give up. Compile. Okay, this compiles. It's always nice to start step by step, right? Not to jump. Valid syntax can't be used as post-unary operator. Where? I have an issue with my screen. I cannot watch exactly where is. Here. So Gabe, the idea is that you will be replacing this? Yes.
Yes, all of those. So like we need the minting policy hash, the asset hex for the names, and then our public key hashes for our shareholders.
Let's just parameterize this. So let's try to. I don't know how long it will take, but let's get you closer to what you need. Oh, I need to copy this. Come on, this is killing me. I just need to copy this without weird. Oh. Okay. So we have the code and we have these placeholders that Gabe needs to replace. So let's try. We have base 64. Here, yes, we have it.
I'm not gonna lie, when that guy popped up there, I thought it was someone talking because it's right next to all of the oh my gosh. The ad when it played, yeah, it was like right next to Martin and Rachel. It's just like, whoa, who's talking right now? And it was just the ad.
Okay. Just to clarify, I am encoding this this source code into base 64, right? And let's start a bit from 0, or maybe we can go step by step. Let me see. This other example will be easier for what you want to do, because you want to replace several parts.
Go figure, right? I always just go overboard. But honestly, if we can get this done, man, this is an awesome open source contract to have for everyone. Yeah.
I will use it if you let me. So let me destroy this thing that we won't be using. Let's forget about this one. Okay, I just want to focus on one issue at a time. So, I don't know if the stream was showing the screen. Come on. Okay, so just in case somebody missed what I was doing, I was just encoding what the smart contract source code in base 64. Now I'm using this code snippet from another example to just go step by step and reach places for where Gabe needs to get here. So I'm replacing and injecting the encoded code here. Okay. And Gabe is, if I go back to the code, Gabe needs Okay, please remind me if I'm missing something, but you need to replace MPH, right? Oh,
Yes. So the
MPH, please.
the public key hash, the PKH. Yeah.
Bien. Good. I said bien, which is okay in in Spanish. Great, great. Keep focusing like that, Adriano. It's I cannot copy this easily.
I've had the same issue. It's whatever. Yeah.
Come on, it's great. I like a lot that it's very minimal, but do the job. But the thing is that the editor is the component is maybe not ideal. If Christian is hearing us, two things: Christian, support and Inception, or use the same component, the Monaco component from that we are using for the editor. That would be great. And we love your project. You know that. We always support you as much as we can. So
We need to address public key hashes.
we need, what was the other one? AssetX and
Public key
PK,
hash.
this one. This one, right?
Yep. Potentially the nonce, but for this case, I don't think we need it.
No, but if you have nonce in the code, and maybe will prevent compiling, let's replace it. Also,
Yeah, and
doesn't
the datum.
matter. Yeah, let's
On the
do it.
bottom.
But where's
It's on the very bottom.
this one?
Why is there two test datum and then example datum?
That I just copy paste what you give me.
Did I provide that? I
Yes,
think that test datum is
it's old. Should I remove it?
yeah, because the shareholders is defined in the example datum there. Yeah, that's an old one. Yeah.
Okay, this means I need to encode this thing again. But
Sorry.
just no worries. But the nonce, do you need to parameterize the nonce as well?
For the test purposes, I would say no. We can later. Like if once I know how to parameterize, I can. Yeah, I haven't implemented anything on the front end to make it unique. So whatever. Like, yeah, if I can get a contract working, I can implement that later.
Okay. So there is another thing that is wrong. The replacement needs to take into consideration these HTML tags, right? I am saying HTML tags because actually
Those aren't tags or anything. That would have been something that like, what is it? So like in this case, we would just build that into like, so in my front end, I would have had that, yeah, maybe as defined there. But currently, right, since I don't have this tied in, like the datum there was just to indicate that that's a value that's dynamic, I guess, that you would change. But yeah, currently for our testing purposes, let's assume there is no front end. Like let's just replace a value for that in our contract, right? So, well, I guess for the parameterization, you need it to point to something, right? So yeah, we'll assume that those are the tags.
I get you. It's like I get why you use this, but as a suggestion, just in cases to avoid some headaches, don't use characters that are used for HTML tags, because
Yeah.
GCScript at some point maybe will try to filter that at least when showing you the result, and will get confusing. Okay, because I really need to prevent cross scripting attacks. So everything that resembles an HTML tag that appears on the code can be an attempt of causing some issues, and there are some filters taking place probably. So I would suggest you to change this to something else.
I'll just comment it. Yeah, I'll just have a null value and then comment something. Yeah.
I will probably, oh, maybe we can do something like this, like, because it has to be valid. Let me check. No, it's okay. We can just, do you think these exact keywords are going to be found elsewhere in the code? Like if I replace this.
Oh no, yeah, it'll be a very simple HTML web form. That's asking for those datum inputs, basically.
So,
Yeah, I'll make sure not to use that.
okay, let's try. If there is something wrong, let's. So it's good if things break during these sessions. The thing that is driving me crazy is that when I delete this stuff. Oh, this was an M, right?
Yeah.
Sorry for my ineptitude with this keyword. I need to fix the the char set. Oh, come on. P.
It like double deletes, huh?
Yeah, but that's not from my keyboard. This is something from the editor, but my keyboard is also on the wrong char set, so I have everything solved.
It's
Sorry.
Oh man. No,
It
that's
seems
cool.
like
That's
I'm
crazy.
a child coding, but yeah, it's.
No,
sorry.
I was understanding what was happening because it's like, oh no, it's the same thing's happening each time. I get it.
Oh, and if I select everything, it just
Yeah,
selects
no, and see,
outside.
I was running through the same thing coding with it. It was kind of frustrating for me as well. So I know what you were going through.
So, okay, now
So okay, I didn't.
I have a new version here. So I'm supposed it's okay. So now we'll replace this here, right? Here. Okay. Now I think we will be okay. So let's do one more thing. We have the a quick explanation of this. So we are running several ISL lines here because we just don't want to put everything on a one-liner here. It's going to be ugly. So we split the process of decoding this source code from base64 and then replacing text in several lines. For this, we are not only using the usual get function that is retrieving things from memory, but also the set, because we are going to be setting or assigning a temporal variable, right? So set will be assigning the source code under this name, under this variable name. And then subsequent calls will be running this, assigning to this source code variable the code, but with one replacement at a time. So we are replacing this, and this on each line. Here is where we need to connect, right? To pass the right information. Let's, for keeping this easy, let's do this. Let's match the same names. Okay. And let's create this data. This data. Oh, come on. I am in pain. It's enough. Wait a second. Okay. Yeah. So now we say data here. We create we can create or a constant. I mean, it's going to be a constant, but we can create it using ISL or not. Just in cases, if you are going to be reusing this code for practicity matters, I will use a macro like ISL to construct this data. So it's type, the function that we'll be calling here is type macro, right? And for this, we say run, and we pass the code we need. And here, we will be creating, using ISL or macros, if we want, we will be creating the object we need to use to parameterize the smart contract, which has an MPH property and set X property and what was the other one? PKH, right? PKH.
That is correct. Yep.
So let's let me think. So this one was a key hash, just like this one, and this is an asset X. So we can create. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. So we can say.
We'll assume it's a string, correct? Yep.
To X, right? And we will pass. This can be anything. So let's say hello world. Okay. So this will create the proper asset name encoded in X. And here, I want to make this easier, quicker. Let me see. There has to be an example with key hashes to just copy paste. This complex native scripts, I guess. Put key X. Okay, here are the key hashes that should be. I mean, these are for testing purposes. So if we run this code until here, here we will be, as you can see, we are using the get function, the ISL get function, and we are retrieving this variable with this name. We are retrieving this in this case not from cache. This is the difference from the global namespace or space on this context, on this script execution context. This is how we deal with, user-defined variables. And what we are going to be doing for Gabe is, once again, because I don't remember the syntax, let me check quickly. Use time lock. This. We're going to be exporting what was the name of all the things you need to export? Do you remember? Gabe, it was the same name, right? Example datum?
Yeah. Example datum.
And we can also share this, right? Just in cases.
Yeah.
Let's explore. The idea now is to give you the tools for. I will fix that. To give you the tools for integrating this contract. There is something else? No, right? Struct. Okay, perfect. So this can go. Okay, if we run this until here, step by step, if this works, it's a good, good first baby steps. We can go step by step to avoid executing the code I did not adapt, right? Because it's going to be chaotic. Wait, we have, I like to use burners, so nobody annoys me with passwords while I'm coding. So step by step. So inline macro that worked, and Bluetooth script. Okay, here there is something wrong. Okay, this unexpected undefined value. If I go here, or if I go to the cursor, as I mentioned, you know exactly the place that has triggered this error. Unexpected undefined value. Let me see. Maybe the replacements are failing. Run data. Another thing that could be happening is that the version that you are using for compiling this Ilios contract is not the exact version that we are using here on GCScript. And that's something we need to work on a bit with Christian, most likely, the creator of Ilios, to make it easier to just support the newer versions. We need to probably coordinate some stuff there. So let me see. If
Is it maybe because those tokens don't exist?
no, because we are not touching the chain in any way yet.
Right.
This is
Okay.
super off chain. Like, I mean, it could be, but I think it's not.
What about too on the MPH? That should be a policy ID. So it's like 56 characters. Is that? I mean, I guess it's not on chain. We're not doing any validation, right? But yeah, I'm just trying to think what might be that undefined value.
This is why I was trying to pass less code on the first run to this exercise, because
Yeah.
to the less variables you have to spot the issues, the better. When you have a lot of things in play, it's starting to get complicated. Maybe the replacements are wrong. Maybe there is another max replacements taking place. I will
So
check.
maybe I can adjust this like on the front end, right? So like this is more of an admin tool, right? For like someone listing a token, right? So the idea is there's step one. You create the tools to help people mint the token that they want. And then it's like, do you want to list this? And then here's the option to go into this contract. So we can make the deposit into this contract a little bit more direct. They have to provide the key hash, right? Instead of doing the hex conversion, they have to provide the asset name in hex. Just so currently, like we're doing less process within the parsing here. Like let's give it direct values as much as possible. So I think when I approach the front end, yeah, I'll probably address that some way to make sure that the parsing doesn't, special characters or whatever UTF-8 properly.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we can assume that that those types are more enforced on the front end.
I would like to know how Aiken is allowing parameterization. I think they have worked in some specific way. Maybe Christian also with Ilios, and I was missing that. But this is the very basic idea of parameterization. Like you have source code and you just inject some string replacements. That's the basic idea.
As it is there, can you share this GCScript?
Sure, I can. That's the idea, to leave you today with something, at least the beginning of what you need to do. What I did, just in cases that these string replacements were breaking the code somewhere, I just complicated more, made it more unique. The strings the substrings we will be looking for. Let's run now. I do this trick to keep to let the window remember the code if something happens. Step by step. Oh, it was already on step by step. Okay, no, there is something else. Probably what I'm saying, like if the code compiles on the new version of Ilios, maybe you are using something new or something that was breaking the current version of Ilios that we're using here, which it needs updating. But guys, keep in mind, I cannot import all the versions or most of the versions of Ilios on GC, because GC will be a huge application at the end. The size of the files will be huge, so we need to create like a more intelligent way of pulling the right version of Ilios, the version that the user wants. I mean, like in runtime, right? And that's not easy because some versions will require a different version. Yeah, it's not like but it's doable and we should do it. In this case, I bet that's the case, because if the code compiles on the playground, it means, yeah. Still, we are not, I mean, we are a bit crippled here regarding what you want to do regarding parameterization. But
Right.
this example, this was an example, right?
Yes.
These constants. So if I remove them, the code will still work because you're not using those, right?
Yeah, it's just an example.
Okay. We can do two things. If you care about the datum format, what we can do is just we can just remove most of the code of the logic. Probably the logic is breaking the compilation. So then we can focus on the datum format. So I am trying to, to get you closer to where you want to be. Maybe this will make the code work. Of these, I think to make this work, if we just say true, it works. It's an always succeed thing, but not sure. Invalid syntax replaced. Yeah, I think it's going to work. If I remove this and it compiles. Okay. Wait. Where are we? Here. I hope it's not going to complain. Oh, it's going to force me to delete everything. Let me see. is going to be smarter. Okay. So if I compile now, it complains about the placeholders for the replacements. So I will remove that. If I compile now, it says that tx is unused. Let's replace it where it was, here. I think it will complain eventually with all of these. I think we should just pass like something like this. I don't remember. I think it was like this. So we do this, compile. Yeah, that was the case. So now this works. What I will be doing is adding again what you want to export. Are you following me what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay. And please let me know if I need to zoom in or something. Yeah, because if I compile now, of course, it's going to be invalid because of the replacements, right? You can be smarter with the replacements. Maybe you can even pass a number when you even want to replace for another number to keep the type and keep the boilerplate code still syntax valid. That can be a smarter way to avoid what I'm doing. Oh, come on. Let me copy. Oh, okay. Once again, I go here. The nice thing about Inception is that it helps with these kind of things. To just automate the passing this string on a window, on a file, and then just using the encoded version. Here we have to do everything manually. But yeah, like Martin, I don't remember too much about Inception right now. To just use it for this. Okay, if we run this now, it will not have syntax errors or errors. Okay, that's something different. So line 82 of the smart contract, wrong number of fields for datum. Expected 3, but got 4. Line
datum's wrong.
82. 82. So for datum, the number of fields for this is, it says is 3 and we passed 4. So where is the definition of datum? Datum. Datum's not supposed to end here, or it's like an object? Like an object, really? I mean, Gabe, is this inside datum on purpose?
I might have messed something up here. Hold on.
Maybe not.
Oh, scroll up. Hold on. No, yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. So you're defining the structure of
The depositor is missing.
depositor. Yeah. And depositor is self. That's why. It's the address of the person communicating.
Okay, and the type, remember, I'm not super savvy on this. So maybe this is the solution?
I think we forgot one key hash. Yeah.
It's pub key hash, right? Depositor?
Yeah. All the addresses are the public key hashes.
Perfect. So now this may work. If we still have issues with this, I will turn
Yeah,
this.
then it's the contract. I've completely messed everything up. Yeah.
Okay, come on, don't worry. But always for testing, the less the better. So if you are running things for the first time, especially where a lot of like black boxes are going to take place, like you don't know what's going on with the node or stuff like that. The less the better, so you can have more control. Okay, now once again, I don't see
Otra
this.
vez. Ay, ay.
What? Oh, oh, come on. Well, let's see now. Yeah, I will do that. I will do what I said. I will make the placeholder thing smarter, so we don't have to suffer. So I will try. Let me see how can we do this in a smarter way. I think this thing is not checking for hexadecimal, but it's checking for the number things. So we will change the numbers. Like what was the number you were using?
The number for what?
What was failing? Do you remember what was failing? Let me see. Replace. It's not like in the replace.
87.
In 87, 88.
Yeah, and on.
So let's do just. I'm sorry, this is ugly. Or maybe this will work. I was about to do something worse. But if this works, let's use it. Yeah, maybe because. I think we're going to hit the limit for streaming, 1 hour limit.
Yeah, we've been at this for a while. I appreciate the effort and everything.
No. I'm not saying because of that, but I'm saying because if this happens, let's start again.
No, I wasn't insinuating that. I was literally like, yeah, it's been another hour already. Like, man.
Are you okay with time? Let me know. I'm okay.
I'm okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure this isn't a black hole of time.
Let's complain it again. Be merciful with me. So let's do something ugly.
At least if this works, this is something of benefit to everyone, right? It's not like cool, we did all this thing and like it works. The end. It's like, oh cool, now we actually have a contract we can use. So
it seems it's checking probably that you're not passing hexadecimal code encodings. So what I'm going to do is to pass a fake.
Just values. Yeah.
Just let me copy paste, please. Please. What I've done in life to be treated this way. Mercy. Come on. There, but I want it here. Okay, I understand. It don't like replacements. It don't like even to erase code. No, please. I got it. And I'm not even attempting a replace all or something like that because I don't know. So this was for replacing the M whatever. So I must not forget. These will replace the MP whatever. Okay?
Yeah.
And let's say these will be for the PKH. Okay? I made this before in a more human readable way, but I'm not sure if the compiler changed. Maybe that's why it's failing now. Maybe something changed.
Hmm.
I don't remember how I did it, but it was not this non-human readable. And I will do this right away from here. Let's replace for this. Asset X. Mercy. Asset X. Yes, because of the highlighting, it's detecting probably hexadecimal. If I type W, yeah, it breaks the highlighting. Probably it's checking for this. Okay, I think if I compile this now, it will work. Yes, sir. So now our boilerplate also is at least syntax valid. So we'll make testing easier. Okay? So, okay. Well, there was an error in one of the lines, right?
It was
Error. Syntax error on line 26. Okay, if there is a syntax error on line whatever, here, but not in the IDE using probably the latest version of Ilios, we have a problem with versioning. It's line 26. Let's see, maybe we can do something about it. 26. So this thing is not 26. One of these parentheses is not good. But this is like a function here, right?
yeah.
Okay. It ends here.
1, 2.
I cannot collapse. Yeah, most likely, I guess. So
Think
you are
so.
probably here. Okay, so what can we do about this? Can I remove this from here?
Try it.
Because right now we're not using it, I guess.
Right.
Okay. Still, I did not know that a structure in Ilios could contain functions. Somehow.
Maybe it can't.
Oh, but if it can, it cannot. Why this compiles? The first.
I mean,
Remember, I asked you because the first time I saw this, I said, "Hey, this is a structure. How you are embedding functions?" But I thought it was
it
possible.
might be
Maybe it's like an object.
compiler thing. Yeah. It's just not checking for what it can't do.
We need to do some coding sessions with the Ilias guys.
I would love to. I mean, yeah, like I'm such a noob with contracts too, but you know, sure you have certain capabilities technically in the code, but yeah, actually implementing it, validating it, that there's yeah, like you said, it's not always just plug something in and it works. It's there's a few other considerations.
Next time, maybe we can prepare a bit more, polish a bit anything that could arise from inception.